it is time. We are actually going to talk about Mirror Mirror tonight, which is the Snow White Twisted Tale. This one is also by Jen Kalanita. So this, Go the Distance, and Conceal Don't Feel, the last two I reviewed, were all by Jen Kalanita. Primarily because she writes the shortest ones of the books in the series. Like, some of these are chonkers. See the difference? That's why I'm going through the shorter ones quicker. But we will have to pick up a long one next because I have gone through all of them. All right, so Mirror Mirror has the premise: what if the evil queen poisoned the prince? I'm going to read to you the blurb as we do. Look at that's a decent size one. That's not bad. Following her beloved mother's death, Snow White's kingdom falls into the hands of her stepmother, commonly referred to as the evil queen by those she rules. Snow keeps her head down at the castle, hoping to make the best of her situation. But when a plot to kill her goes awry, everything changes for Snow. With the help of a group of wary dwarfs, a kind prince she thought she'd never see again, and a mysterious figure from her past, Snow embarks on a quest to stop the evil queen and take back her kingdom. But can she stop an enemy who knows her every move and will do anything to hold on to power, including go after the ones Snow loves? As far as like blurbs or whatever you want to call that goes, the motivations are very basic. I think it's very common for us to expect the baddie to do whatever it takes to stay in power or whatever, and that includes going after the ones that like the hero loves. It's not true. As with my first time reading this book, in the reread, I listened to the audiobook, and I'm glad to say my feelings didn't change. I still enjoyed Ingrid, who is the evil queen. I enjoyed her POVs because you just really just got to see her go crazy, okay? You got the whole, like, her early motivations, her childhood, growing up, what, all her plans essentially falling apart. So Ingrid's side I have no qualms with, even though I don't typically like a villain POV, because this was her, half the book was her. This was her story too. Maybe could have been only her story, just saying. Because while Snow White is not the worst, I hold on to my initial opinion that I don't believe it. Snow White goes this whole time, like I said, keeping her head down, pretty much ignoring what's going on around her, too afraid to fight it. And then all of a sudden, it feels very sudden because, the queen sends her out with the huntsman into the woods, and then the huntsman's supposed to kill her, but the huntsman backs down because he feels guilty that his dad killed her mom. And that creates a very, harsh spark in her of, I can't believe the evil queen, Aunt Ingrid, killed my mama. So now I'm going to take her down. Okay. I can understand those thoughts in the moment. But because Snow is such a docile character, her switches to when she's like, I'm going to do the thing and take back my kingdom and right the wrongs. I'm like, I need more time to pass because there isn't a clear definition of days, but it can't be more than a couple weeks between Snow White escaping and essentially going back to face the queen. But it's her turn of motivation feels very, very sudden for me. Not that I want an in-depth training montage because she doesn't need it. Especially when, if there had been a montage where, not a montage necessarily, but chapters of her training and learning strategy and meeting all these different people who are supposed to help her out. And then it really comes down to her going into her queen's chambers and breaking the mirror. I would have been upset as well. I didn't need that, but I needed something. I needed something to make me believe Snow could overcome this struggle, especially because Ingrid's been in power all this time. She has manipulated so many people. She is the evil queen for a reason. why is it now like she's wavering? She's making like not the smartest decisions. And I know the mirror is having issues where it needs to feed on her power and she already feels weak. It had been telling her since Snow was born that Snow's a threat. You got to get rid of her or she's going to take the crown. And now it's at the point, I guess it's too late to turn back. Like, it's really too late to change anything. So no matter what she does, fails. But it just seems like she even went through the whole process of turning into a hag, which we see in the movie, and going to the cottage with the apple. And then Snow isn't there because they already went out and were on their way. At that point, I think they might have like been visiting Snow's dad, who's not dead. Spoilers. But then she's like, oh, I feel that the mirror needs me, so I'm going to go back to the castle. And I'm like, why? Did we go through that scene just because it was so iconic in the movie that we had to have it, and then it feels like it got wasted? But she is stuck for a hag for the rest of the book, including her, inevitable facing Snow White in the castle again, as well as tricking the prince. Because she looks like an old hag, she was able to trick the prince and give him the poison apple, making him sleep in the glass coffin, and Snow White kisses him to wake him up. There's the twist. There's part of the twist. So I don't dislike her writing necessarily, but I have yet to fully believe and commit to any of her stories, and in the sense that like I'm either pulling out of it or it feels like there was a potential that wasn't quite achieved. Like I said, I really, really loved Ingrid's POVs in this book, and by really, really love them, like in terms of this book, not in terms of like everything I've read ever. But as far as this book is concerned, I enjoyed Ingrid's POV. Again, watching her go crazy. It was great. It was fantastic. She is a believable villain. Again, we had some struggles at the end, but I think I was out of her control, but yet you could have made better decisions. As far as the villains go, I think her character is one of the strongest ones captured within the books, and that's probably because we do have like the full backstory and everything. And then I guess I just don't believe Snow White's transformation. I don't know if I just needed more time or what I needed, because she has enough triggering events, like finding out her aunt was responsible for her mother's death and for her sending her father and banishing from the kingdom, and doing all these terrible things. Like, I get it, she is an evil queen, but you a pathetic little princess. Why you? And then the Prince Henry, so he's kind of there, but like he very quickly just feels like a supporting character, which is fine, I guess. However, I didn't like, he could have done something more. Like, he could have brought the strategy to the table or something. He's like, he was the youngest prince the youngest son in his family. So he's like, oh, I'm never going to inherit a kingdom. Then I'm like, what are you bringing to the table? What are you bringing? He brought a horse. I think the horse eventually ran away. He didn't really, like, they built this nice little cute relationship, sort of, but also time, like the time that they met, from when they met to when things happened. Time. Make it a little bit bigger. Maybe more time, more believable, because where was I? Was it the last 80%? Either in the last 2/3 or in the last 20% is when Snow was like going to the villages and trying to recruit people so they could raid the castle and attack the queen. And I'm like, oh, I needed more time. Needless to say, I think the Evil Queen's POV may put Mirror Mirror above Go the Distance and Conceal Don't Feel. I'm really not sure. Like, maybe when I reread the others, I'll find a little more fault in them and it won't be like all of these at the bottom. I hate to do that, but that's kind of how I feel. And that's what this whole thing is, right? It's my ranking recap review of the Twisted Tale series, and needless to say, I still enjoyed it. But if I have to think about things, don't make me think about things. So we're gonna shelf Mirror Mirror, put it right back where it belongs. leaving us with 7. 7 to go. So, I don't know which one I should do next. Well, I am wearing my Aurora shirt. This, you can't really see it. Got little Aurora on there. And then I've got my fairies. So I think we have no choice. I think the next Twisted Tale that I'm going to reread and review is going to be Once Upon a Dream by Liz Braswell. And I know I had issues with this initially, which put it lower than I expected, but I also listened to the audiobook, and I think the whole thing was read by a guy, and I did not like his Aurora voice. So don't listen to the audiobook. Let's physically read this. Let's do it. Next time on the Twisted Tales reviews will be Once Upon a Dream. But that is going to be it for today. It's really quick. Like, it's a short book. I have very clear feelings on it. But if you had different feelings or have any questions, let me know about Mirror Mirror in the comments below. Yeah, just go throw something in there. I don't know, throw an apple. If you can throw an apple emoji to just be like, yeah, you get it. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I'm going to get to work on other stuff, but I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks again for watching, and take care.